Well, I think it tells you all you need to know, really, that the IMF, who we've seen make previous very bad calls, backing this Rachel Reeves Labour budget, where we're seeing absolutely massive tax rises, the country's tax burden being taken to a record high. Apparently, this plan backed by the IMF, who, of course, you'll remember, weren't so keen when Liz Truss set out a plan to actually cut taxes. You even saw, of course, the US President, Joe Biden, get involved. But you see the end result here, the reality of what this Labour budget has delivered already. And as Nigel Farage there says, when the globalist pro-Euro IMF comes out in support of the budget, you know that we are in trouble. And as for who is opposing this budget, we'll just look at the farmers in this country, because it's been described, this budget, as a nail in the coffin. That under the new rules, farming families able to pass up to £1 million worth without any tax. But after that, 50% of the remaining value eligible for taxation, which is now going to mean practically all farmers can now expect to be subject to inheritance tax. And you see the quote there, the main concern is the loss of agricultural property relief. If that's done away with, you're going to see generations and generations of farms that are going to sink, because the younger generation now will not be able to foot that 40%, that years of farming will be gone. But they're saying they're struggling as it is, but it's going to be the final nail in the coffin for a lot of farmers. Jeremy Clarkson there, one of those commenting on this, saying, please don't despair, just look after yourselves for 5 short years and this shower will be gone. And when you look at the government at the moment, they seem to be running away, really, from some of the scrutiny on this. Of course, speaking to the BBC, where it seems the government are accepting this is going to hit pay for workers. But just look at what Labour were saying before the election. They are absolutely bang to rights on this. You'll remember there was all the talk about what they weren't going to do. We now know huge tax rises, £40 billion worth. And this is what Rachel Reeves was saying before the election. Quite the contrast.
Rachel, Labour has ruled out, as you say, increasing income tax, VAT, corporation tax, national insurance, but you use this language of having no plans when asked about capital gains tax, wealth taxes, other property taxes, inheritance tax. Do you use the words no plans because it gives you the space in government to then say, well, we didn't have plans then, but we do have plans now because we've seen the state of the public finances and we see that this is necessary to fix public services?
No, I'm under no illusions about the scale of the challenge that I will face. I don't need to become Chancellor to know what a mess the government have made of public finances, of public services, and the fact that the tax burden is at its highest level in 70 years. We don't need higher taxes. What we need is growth. And I don't want to, and I have no plans to increase any taxes beyond those which we have already set out. The VAT and business rates on private schools, the extension of the windfall tax, the changes about how private equity bosses are taxed, and the policies that we have announced, the non-doms as well. Those are the only changes to tax that we need to fund our plans. I'm very clear about that.